this?
Is it recording?
Yeah, we're all recording. Huh?
Oh, we've been recording?
We've been.
Oh, okay. What's our show called?
It's up to you.
I'm trying to think. Oh, catchy
Oh my
name.
God. Jessica, what's the name of our podcast? Okay.
All right. Realtors and CPAs. So lame.
It's a great title. Because there's no other realtors and CPAs out there. Very unique.
Here at Whiskators, where realtors drink whiskey with a CPA.
It's very true. So we're starting a podcast today.
Yeah.
And, the point of it is to really just talk about all things going on in Bay Area, national real estate, lending. What else are we going to talk about,
Especially
Michael?
people's on their minds about taxes, finance, and what people are struggling with in the Bay Area, really, and around the whole nation about buying a home. And is it a good time to buy? What are some struggles they're buying a home with? And what are some things they can do to kind of win a house, or when they should wait or not wait for a home? So all the topics today we'll be touching on. Right, Iris?
Yes.
Iris, what are we talking about today?
You put me on the spot.
We're all on a spot.
Don't worry, the light is on all of us.
Yes. Iris, what are we talking about?
So we're talking about home buying process and how to sell your home as well. We also talk about our listing. We just closed last week. How many offers we got, and a little bit about the market.
Yeah,
This
how
year
was
and
that listing?
Next year.
Where was it at?
We're going to get into that, Michael.
Oh,
We're
okay.
gonna get
I'm
into
excited.
that.
I'm excited to hear about
Okay,
it.
good. Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited that you're excited. And maybe we'll touch a little on the 49ers as well.
Ooh. How much money do you have on it, Thomas? 2,000?
I don't know. Michael. I
Don't
think
disclose.
you're actually in charge of that, so don't lose it all, please.
I am a bookkeeper, they say.
Yes. All right. Well, today we're at Michael's office in North San Jose. Michael, why don't you tell us, our viewers, a little bit about yourself and your CPA practice, actually?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Michael the CPA. I'm also a realtor with the team here with BAC. That's Bay Area Connect. And I'm located in North San Jose over in Junction, across from the old Fry Electronics. And a lot of my clients here are usually from the Tech Valley. They do a lot of ISOs and real estate investors themselves, or even small practice doctors and dentists themselves. So everyone in the valley right here, very successful people, very smart, very bright people, and I'm lucky enough to be of service to them and help them out with their needs and processes of buying a house or real estate, or even their tax services. So this is a little bit of our office here, and this is Thomas and this is Iris, two of my greatest team members that I like to work with. They're very smart. They understand how to get people in their home, how to sell their home for the top dollar. And they've been doing it for many years, and I'm very proud to be part of this team and excited to continue on this podcast here and kind of move forward for next year, for 2024. A lot of new things are happening. A lot of new tax laws are happening, and a lot of new real estate's happening because we have, interest rate dropping finally for the past whole year of
Finally.
how many interest rate hikes have we had? And the market has finally slowed down. I actually see some home prices finally start to stall and prices start to drop. So Thomas, tell me a little about the market today. How do you feel from this year and last year?
Well, this year it's been a very interesting year. Iris and I have been in the thick of it this year. Things definitely started changing last year. But last year it kind of went from a hot to a cold.
Yeah.
Whereas this year...
And how cold was it?
It was very cold because when rates went up, they went up pretty fast,
Right.
actually. And to be quite honest, the Bay Area is very lucky. We can kind of deal with these interest rate
I feel
hikes.
we're a little insulated most of the time, right?
Right, because people here have money, but it really hit the country hard.
Right.
It really stopped a lot of people from buying and also people from selling as well. Iris, what did you think in terms of last year and this year about the activity?
About the activity, so obviously last year we see more buyers in the market because rates were lower, and this year rates has went up, like you said, 8 times this year, and obviously buyers they got scared, they they take a break. They decide not to buy. They're waiting for the rate to drop, and it haven't been dropped since August. And we started to see rate went up a little bit, by 1%, and we start seeing more mortgage, and people start refinance, and we start seeing mortgage application, more application, and more buyers getting back to the market.
And with the market kind of changing, do you guys see a lot of realtors dropping out of the game here? Like you see people retiring out, changing careers?
Absolutely, yes. A lot of realtor actually, they.
Do you know anyone got laid off from like lending? Like their whole office closed down, anything like that for you guys? Have you heard about that? A little bit?
We definitely have. A lot of lenders did get laid off this year. Not so much last year, but this year. And part of it, because we're in an organization called ARIA, Asian Real Estate Association of America. I'm the president this year in Silicon Valley. We have a big network of lenders, but what really happened was during COVID, when all the real estate sales went crazy, they started hiring so many lenders, and they had just had too much, and they had to cut the fat. And from what a lot of my lender partners, I've heard that the major banks have cut like 50% of their loan officers.
Yeah.
Now it has really only affected lending in terms of the retail banking side. They haven't really had too much layoffs. It's really the lending side.
Lending side. Got it. How about any of your buyers? Have they dropped out? Any tech people that got laid off, personally, that kind of got hit by the environment? Did you guys lose any buyers during the process?
Iris, did you?
I do actually. I got one client that actually decided to hold off on buying because he got laid off, and he wasn't sure what to do. And it's kind of like a hard time for his family, and it's understandable, right? Because everyone is unsure of what's going on, how's the market is going to be. And now it's like a good time because we start seeing rates drop. We start hearing the Fed is thinking about dropping the rate 3 times next year. And the FHA announcing the new loan limit for 2024 due to the rising of home price throughout the most of a year in 2023, even with the rates going up.
And I do see maybe a little bit more of a lag of why rates should be dropping next year. It kind of makes sense to me because I do people's finances. I talk to other CPAs as well in the Valley, all over the United States. A lot of national groups I'm a part of, and what I see a lot is they get laid off from their company, right? But what's interesting is some of them get actually a whole year of severance or even 6 months, depending on the company. So there's a little bit of a lag time if when they get laid off and they burn all that cash and they're looking for a new job. But generally, these new jobs are not paying as high. So, for example, I know Meta, they laid off a bunch of people, and they very next month they're like, "Hey, you know what? We'll rehire you guys, but this is the new contract price." And they're not even full employees. It's actually more consulting basis. So they're still paid from the company, but they don't get the full benefits. They're kind of like the first to be let go again if needed. So a lot of cost cutting throughout the whole Bay Area I've seen. I have known from another CPA telling me with their client they lost a job for 2 years, and when you're used to making like $400,000 a year and you're the breadwinner, imagine that becoming zero, or severance package now becoming zero. Things starts to pile on. So I think we might have a soft landing because these people are still getting jobs again, but again, like the money is tighter across the whole entire nation in the Bay Area for sure.
Yeah, but we'll see how soft that really is. I had some clients that kind of took a pause this year as well. A lot of those layoffs happened really early this year. I remember the news then.
Right.
It's been kind of crazy because, from what I've heard, they all have got new jobs again, but like Michael said, at lower salaries, different terms maybe. So things are definitely changing up. Yeah. And I know a lot of these things that we're talking about right now, you probably heard of before as well. Just kind of like the market slowing down, but surprisingly, and we're going to show up an article right now, Bay Area prices, they were on 9 straight months of decline. However, after steadily declining for 7 consecutive months, housing prices have now increased for an even longer streak. So 8 months in a row, according to a new report, S&P CoreLogic's latest Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price NSA Index, released November 28th, pretty recent. reports that home growth rose in September 2023 by 3.9%, and it's been increasing about 8 months now. Now, Iris, does that surprise you? You know, we hear on the news that all these high interest rates, you know, the market is slow. Maybe it is nationally, but are you surprised that home prices keep going up in the Bay Area?
That's not surprisingly at all because for some reason the Bay Area is a really desirable area that a lot of high tech people and people get paid really high salary. We have a really low inventory. That's also why we have amazing weather here. So you know people keep moving to California. So yeah, it's just demand and supply.
So with now, like we understand with the interest rates going up, we kind of have the opposite effect what most people kind of initially thought that prices will go down with higher interest rates. But the opposite has happened,
Yep.
right? So now we're going to have rate cuts. So since we knew that since interest rate going up and lower inventory, do you think the lower interest rates by 3 cuts will even give more inventory or still allow home prices to go even further up or maybe stay stagnant? What do you guys think?
Well, I think in general it will go up.
Yeah.
Inventory will go up. This year, at least in the Bay Area, I'm not sure nationally on the numbers. Inventory this year has been about half of last year, and it's a lot less, but there's still a lot of homes out there on the market.
Yeah.
If you're on Zillow, you're seeing it as well. Now, I will say a lot of the homes this year have been sitting on the market, but there's homes out there. It's not like there's no homes out there like the news portrays. Next year, I do foresee more homes coming on the market. You know, we always like to think that people sell because they want to make a ton of money. It's usually not the case. People are usually selling for life reasons. Either they got to move into something smaller, something bigger, out of the area, better schools, things like that. So I think the dropping of the interest rates will generate some more inventory.
More inventory.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think the rate going up, people would sell their house a little bit less? Why did the inventory drop? What happened there?
Iris?
So when the interest rate went up, why did the inventory go down? Why didn't more people want to sell their house? So for example, it's kind of interesting, right? So even though prices are going up, why didn't more people want to sell their house to just get a bigger gain? I mean, if your house is worth $100,000 more, what's stopping them? What's stopping them from selling their house? Why did inventory go down regardless of interest rate going up? So Thomas is stating interest rate is going down, so home prices possibly will still go up, but there'll be more inventory, more transactions.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think happened there when interest rate went
So
up?
when interest rate went up, we see lower inventory is because also there's going to be less buyers on the market. Secondly, the seller also afraid to sell because if they sell their home when they have really low interest rates,
Yeah.
now they have to sell their home and they have to buy with a higher interest rate.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of sellers don't want to sell right now in the higher rates.
So with interest rate going down a little bit, do you think they'll actually sell their house from the difference now?
I think so, and we'll show a slide on the screen. We do track interest rates on Fred, and you guys can take a look at it on there as well. Since they've tracked it since the 60s, it's actually never been under 5%. The only time is after 2008, the Great Crash, and the government did that to really stimulate the economy. So is it plausible for rates to be under 5 again? It's not impossible, but you know, I love to bet, I love to gamble.
Right.
But I would say 5 is kind of like the new 0. Is it ever going to go under 5 again? I'm not going to say it's impossible, but if rates drop to 6 to 5, I would say that should definitely stimulate the economy. And you know, this issue is something Iris and we just dealt with our seller in Campbell, right? Remember, he wanted to sell, but he was kind of scared, like, because there's still buyers out there. If I sell and make a butt ton of money, where am I going to go next?
Right.
We were actually able to use a program that we have available, not a lot of realtors do, for our sellers, where we're able to help you buy first, and it gives you peace of mind. And how did we get this listing? How do we meet this person, Iris?
So it actually through door knocking.
What is door knocking?
So this is what me and Thomas been doing. We actually print out a lot of flyers and we go door to door and just knocking every single door and try to just meet people, talk to people, you know, And this past month, we has been getting a lot of, you know, good feedback that we got to talk to a lot of neighbors, and they actually recognized you. And we, just stopping by and say happy holiday to them. And so this is how me and Thomas met the seller. We actually door knocked him, and the first time he was not friendly at all. He was in the, I don't know, he was in a mad mood or something, and we didn't get anything out of it. But
we
when
did.
we
We got something out
asked
of
him,
it.
yes, we asked
Yeah.
him, do you think about maybe buying or selling in the near future? And he said yes.
We were shocked because everyone we spoke to pretty much said no. Obviously, we're trying to meet neighbors first, but we're also trying to find out if people in the neighborhood are selling. And I remember you door knocked that one, right?
And we was not prepared for that answer at all. I was froze.
Oh my gosh, it was fun. But
So what changed? What made him want to say yes to you guys and think about selling the house?
He, even though he said yes, and he was like, but not right now. He
Okay.
said yes, but not right now. Come back in like 3-6 months.
And what
And then he
changed?
closed the door.
What changed? What 3-6 months happened? What changed?
I guess he, but he said he just like really sick of the Bay Area.
yep.
What was sick
here-
about the Bay
here.
Area?
He retired.
Yeah, he didn't really get into specifics on what he was sick of. A lot of people are sick of some things in the Bay Area.
Any suggestions still to be sick of?
No, I don't know.
I can think of one big. I can think of one of the biggest ones I tell all my clients. And
What
I
is
always
it,
say,
Michael?
It's taxes.
Taxes.
I don't know if you guys know, tax in the Bay Area, there's not only income tax that you worry about. Right now, everyone thinks about California taxes like 12%, 13%. There's even, if you make over $1 million in California, there's a 1% mental health care tax that people are
Wow.
not aware of. Yeah, so even all the taxes you pay, there's even extra kickers. And there's
Wow.
even in San Jose, there was another Measure E, that after $2 million, they even have even extra transfer taxes on you guys.
Wow.
And another piece, what people don't like to sell, and this is the big one in California is, and I think is causing why low inventory among the interest rate rise, is that when you sell your house, for the most part, most people can't transfer their property tax value to the next house. So if you bought a house for $100,000 and you're not at the right certain age or requirements to transfer the property tax, you actually have to pay the new property tax when you buy the new house. So if your house is worth $400,000 the past 2 years, it went up skyrocketing high. It's worth $800,000. You buy the next house, your bills are much higher now with a higher interest rate. So I kind of get it. I kind of feel like it's going to be a long time before we have a normal market because there's too many factors that happen. We printed too much money. Everyone has a higher salary now. What's minimum wage now today, guys? Do you guys hear in the news?
I don't know it. I think it's like $18.
McDonald's is like 20, or all
20
fast food
something,
chains
20
is
something already.
$23.
Yeah.
Dang.
$23 an hour. And minimum wage on this area, like San Jose, I think was like $20 an hour now.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you think about it, right, if it's $23 an hour, how much should you be making now to kind of be living kind of like a middle class versus like, this is the low wage, right? This is like the beginner's $23 an hour wage. And now you're going to be middle class. How much income do you need to make? And then now how much your house is going to be expensive, right? It's a ripple effect. So every time we raise the minimum wage, I feel we'll pay higher taxes, and also we need more money to survive out here, right? So it's going to be really, really hard for people out there. But I get it. A lot of people I think are going to be moving out of the state to find something else. I think it's the
Let's
evolution.
talk a little about this seller we just helped recently.
Yeah.
Like you were asking, Michael, what caused him to eventually decide to sell? Now, I will say he was thinking about it. He was thinking about it, and he had a place that he wanted to move to. But what we were able to do was present this program to him that would give him peace of mind. Secondly, it's always nice to know what your home will sell for, but it's more important, I think, to know what you're actually going to walk away with.
Right.
After capital gains, after doing some remodels, after paying commissions,
Right.
and just closing costs. And we were able to show that with this proprietary spreadsheet that we have. We're able to plug in all the numbers.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he was happy with that final number.
Yeah.
So we kind of went through this whole process.
Was this the client you asked me a question if he's on title but the wife wasn't? Was this the one?
No, so
Okay.
our client, no, that was for someone
different.
else.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it was a different client. So yeah, once he saw the numbers, he was happy with it. We were able to start moving forward. And Iris, you were there for all of it. The home looked very different when we started and when we got to the end. What were some of the things that we were able to help them out with?
So, so when we first do the walkthrough, we was kind of like, I was
terrible?
scared.
I've seen worse. I've seen much worse.
Was it a hoarder house?
It's
It's
not a horror
not
house.
really, but I think
Let's check the video.
he just doesn't really.
Instant replay. Well, he
just-
lived by himself, so there's only
Yep.
one person, right?
Just doesn't do any repair or maintenance.
Just keep it
But
original.
He been there for
Very
20
original.
years, and,
And
everything was
original.
A
really
lot of people
original.
don't have the funds to even
Correct.
upgrade because you bought a house for
Yes.
how much did you buy the house for a long time ago?
For
Roughly.
600.
Yep.
600?
As
Yeah.
a lot of people in the Bay Area.
How
they
many
have a
years
lot
ago?
Equity in the home,
Less
but
than
not
20
cash.
years.
Less than 20 years,
Yeah.
which is still a lot of time
It's a lot of
because
time, yeah.
if you look at the past 4 years, prices has gone skyrocketed since then.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah, and so we basically remodeled the entire bathroom. We replaced the countertop. We repainting all the cabinet, the walls, and what else?
and all
we
those repairs, like
repainted
if he
the
didn't have money,
fireplace.
how would he do this if he didn't have any
So
funds?
shout out to David and Sandra Cabrillo Construction. They did a great job. They came out and bid out a couple of items because with the program, we needed to do some updates to the home before we were able to use the program to buy. So through the program, depending on your situation,
And what is this program?
it's called HomeLight.
Okay.
Now, HomeLight, they basically kind of buy you out, and then they allow you to use part of your equity to purchase the new home.
Right.
And then once you sell, and once you get into the new home, then we put your home on the market, and we get that sold. So HomeLight kind of takes over your house. And when the market was crazy 3 years ago, they just put it on.
Right.
But now it's a little riskier for them. So they have to assess that risk. They required some repairs, like to the roof, to the fence, to this one bathroom. So our friends David and Sandra came in and they were able to help out with that. And through their program, our client was able to pay through escrow because he didn't really have the necessary funds at that time.
So the program helped him repair his home
Yes.
and help him buy his next house as well
Correct,
ahead
yes.
of time. Wow.
Yes, yes.
Is it expensive?
I don't remember the fee. There is a fee involved.
Okay.
If you're a seller out there and you've thought of maybe selling, but you have no idea where you're going,
Yeah.
we could have you talk to the program HomeLight about it. We could set up a Zoom call and kind of go from there. Yeah.
Is it kind of set on like a percentage or a flat rate?
I think it's a percentage.
Okay.
Percentage.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's actually really worth it if you think about it. You don't want to. It's allowing you to buy somewhere and have a peace of mind, and you just move straight to your new home instead of some seller have to like ask for rent back,
Right.
Yeah.
and then maybe have to move out somewhere.
Makes it harder to sell.
Yeah, it's
right?
really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under the gun, really, because right now it was low inventory. But in the hot market, it was, can we buy fast enough? So during the hot market, they would just give you the cash, so you can make a cash offer
okay.
and buy the new place, more competitive.
I see. I
Yes.
see. And how is that compared to like a bridge loan?
That's a great question, Michael. I think in one of our future episodes, we're going to have one of our lenders come on.
We should definitely get a lender on about that
Yes.
because there's a lot of options out there for people that they're not aware of. And if you are thinking about selling your house, there's a lot of options out there. If your home is mint condition or you need a little bit of cash, there's so many different kind of programs out there with different realtors. If you have the right realtor, he's going to help you get through the door to help sell your house the right way. That's why I love working with Thomas and Iris here because they understand a lot of programs.
And I think that's what all consultants do, Michael.
Yeah.
You as a CPA, us as realtor, there's a lot of different other consultants out there.
Right.
Our job is to ultimately ask questions to find your issues
Right.
and present solutions, right?
Right.
Because as a customer, you're not supposed to know this.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to know all the options available.
Thomas, do you know all the answers though?
I do not.
Yeah.
That's why I work with good people like yourself,
Right.
all these other lenders, contractors, title. Trust is very important. Once you have a home, you should definitely get trust.
Yeah.
So we do have a trust attorney that we could bring on as well for the future. I think it's a really good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome.
But yeah, Iris, you were saying, so we did updates. So now the home is beautiful, and then what did we do to market it?
We got photography, we got videography, and a 3D, 2D floor plan. We also what else? We kind of like put we didn't just put a sign in front of your yard. We print out flyers. We put ad on social media. We did videos. We just kind of like expose your listing to the maximum to get more potential buyers
So
and
if
interest.
you're going to compare yourself between the way you guys list a house, how would you say you guys really stand out versus other realtors when they sell their house? What is your guys', do you feel that is your competitive edge versus someone else's out in the market? How do you guys differentiate yourself in a sense?
I'm going to be quite honest and just say that
And we can pause here.
we're not necessarily better than another realtor.
Right.
There's definitely some luck involved. There's definitely some timing involved. And that's where we lucked out by working with good people, by explaining the whole process. We were able to move fast.
Yeah.
Because this was the holiday time.
Yeah.
If you don't get sold by a certain time, it's not selling this year.
Yeah.
So our job as the realtor, the consultant, is to show you how to reach your goal.
Right.
And the goal isn't always to get the most amount of money.
Right.
Every seller is different.
Yeah.
And we want to help you reach that goal by presenting solutions. So what in this industry, you only get one shot. There's only one first impression. If the home is not beautiful from the get-go, if it's not priced right, you can make these changes as much as you want down the line. It's not going to work. So I would say that's the secret. You have to hit it right when you go on. And you just got to move forward from there.
And we're going to cut this scene and we're going to redo this whole part.
Yeah,
and then I want you to have a better answer.
Okay. I don't have an answer for that though, Michael.
I know, but the hard questions with good answers, what gets you through the door?
Well, I think what really helped is having that spreadsheet.
Yeah.
With how much he was going to walk away
We'll
with.
talk about this later.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask this question again.
Right. But yeah, so we got the property on. Like I said, we sent a lot of mailers to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We door knock as well.
Yeah.
Door knock is really good.
Let's just put it this way. What have you seen when you've been a buyer as well, right? The other side. Mm-hmm. What have you seen? What made a home not sell in a hot market? What is an example of a bad agent listing your house? What examples are like that? What do you feel that in their home and the way they present their home is
Iris,
not
do you have an
home?
answer?